All right, guys, back again. We have episode 2. We're very excited for this guest. We have heavyweight, I guess you could say prospect, even though he's tearing it up now.
Yeah.
Chris Daukaus. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then also, I want to apologize now to the viewers. It's probably going to be the thickest Philly accents that you'll ever hear because all three of us are from the Northeast.
Yeah, right.
So my first question I have for you. So I saw you're a North boy.
Yes. Yes.
So are you one of the proud ones that you're very proud to be a part of the alumni and all?
Yeah. I mean, with working with a bunch of dudes who went to Judge or Rome, wherever they went, it always gets brought up. I'm not the type of dude to be rocking North stuff all the time, but I have my select gear that I wear here and there. But yeah, so.
My stepdad went to North, and he's like that classic dude rocking the fucking hat, North Catholic shirt.
I know a bunch of them dudes.
I don't know if you're familiar with like the soccer or anything like that, but he's like the most well-known ref in the Catholic League. Hector the Ejector, they call him.
No.
Wait, Nick, that was actually his nickname? I had no idea that he was big with that.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's a great one.
Hector the Ejector. That's funny. So did you do any other sports there? Or was it just wrestling at North?
I didn't even wrestle at North.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Legit. So I was in high school, like coming into high school, I was close to 300 pounds. I was probably 300 pounds. So I played lacrosse all 4 years, varsity lacrosse all 4 years, and that was pretty much it. Like I was going to go play in college up at Penn State Abington, they were starting a team which would be considered like a D3 school for them since they have their main campus. But yeah, that's kind of how I found MMA was I stopped playing lacrosse and I was driving past an MMA school. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's insane to think about how, I should have wrestled. I know Billy Hunter and all that, and he's like boys with my dad from both being cops. He's like, yo, you should come out and wrestle. I'm like, I was weak, like mentally weak, and I'm just like 300 pounds. And they're like, yo, you gotta call weight. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather just play lacrosse and just sit there and just just hit stick people all day. So that was it.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, that actually leads up to my second question I had. So how did you wind up getting into MMA and all? Like, what age did you start to do that? Was that like towards the end of your high school area, or did you start as like a late bloomer?
I was like a late bloomer, I guess you can consider. Like I said, I was commuting to Penn State Abington, and the way I would go past an MMA gym all the time. Eventually built up the courage to actually like go in there after a couple of years going by. I think it was my sophomore year of college. I actually finally like made the step. So I was probably like 19, 18. I graduated high school when I was 17. I was probably around 18, 19 when I actually stepped foot into the gym. Started there, and I was there for how years, and then the head coaches ended up splitting, and I ended up going with my head coach now, Will Martinez, at his own place. So.
Okay, cool. And then if you could touch up on amateurs, like what age did you like say like, hey, like this is something I really would like to do? And when did you start with like amateurs? And then if you could talk about some of your achievements, that would be really cool.
Yeah. So I kind of got late. Like I said, I was a late bloomer in the MMA game. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, just because of the way that the time frame of MMA now is. I mean, like 18 and 19 nowadays is like a late bloomer, but I guess it was still coming up. I started fighting probably a year and a half after I got to the gym, my first MMA gym. And then from there, I went on a tear. I was 4-0 as an amateur. Won a couple amateur heavyweight belts. And then it was kind of like a thing of where I don't have anybody else to fight. Like no one would fight me kind of thing. Like the area didn't have a lot of heavyweights. No promotion is obviously paying for travel for an amateur. So it was kind of like hey, we kind of have to go pro. You might be ready to go pro, but you kind of have to just if this is what you want to do. So yeah, made my pro debut. first round knockout, which was awesome. And then my record speaks for itself. Lost one, and then I kind of had a little shaky record. I was a little debating on whether or not I should, continue to do this. I think I was like 2-2 or 1-2, something like that. And then I actually turned things around, and here I am. So I'm happy I did that.
You're muted, Joey.
Sorry about that. That actually ties into my next question. So like, I feel like that we've like talked already because you've been hitting like all my questions and all, which is awesome. So you did touch up on the pro debut, and I know that we live in an awesome area that will really show out for you, no matter if it's your pro debut, if it's a huge fight, if it's like a tune-up fight, like people will show up for you. So how cool was it that your pro debut? I mean, Harrah's Casino is not that far. So like, did you wind up having a lot of people come up and see your pro debut?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, the purse that you usually get for a pro debut guy isn't anything, but you kind of make up for it on ticket sales, and it helped that I think I had like another teammate or something fighting on that. So we ended up packing out the whole crowd with all of us. So I fought like in front of like a couple thousand people, which was great, which is more than what I'm fighting in front of now, which is weird. Super strange, but yeah, I mean, just that whole experience. It was even as amateurs, we were kind of training to be as pros because obviously that's the next step with everything. So it wasn't much of a big difference except for just getting used to those 5 rounds. That was the biggest.
Okay, cool, awesome. And then I wanted to touch up a little bit. How has your relationship been with the CFFC? And how is it with like when it was building your opportunities and all too?
CFFC has been great, especially with me and my brother. They are run just like the UFC. That's what a lot of guys don't realize, which is get you prepared for when you make that jump into the UFC, is that the way CFFC runs it, they're the top regional organization outside of the UFC, just because they're only strictly on the East Coast. They've been done some, other small shows here and there in like Mississippi, and I think they went out west for a little bit, but their mainstay is on the East Coast. And the way that they treat you and everything, just the whole production value and everything, that's on the UFC's level. Like they don't play around with anything. And give it up to Arias and Rob for doing what they do, because they are definitely the #1 organization to have guys ready for the big show. And I couldn't thank them enough. Like I still hit Rob every once in a while. I'll shoot him a text like, Rob, seriously, thank you for everything that you've done for me. Just preparing me for, the UFC, and just preparing me for, a lot of the things that people don't really see, like that take place like behind the scenes, which is all. I'm forever indebted to those guys, and I greatly appreciate everything that they did.
Of course. Awesome. Yeah, my so I went to the fight where it was like massive, where like Kyle had his title defense, and then Pat Sabatini had that awful
the arm break
shoulder. Oh my god! Like it was like literally in front of me. And I was like this. I couldn't even believe that was terrible. But like, yeah, I mean, I had so much fun. Like that was actually my first one that I ever went to, and then I got to see Kyle fight. He came out to the Karate Kid song, "You're the best around," and I was like, all right, he's definitely gonna win this.
He does not play around with the soundtrack. He's definitely he puts a lot of work into picking what song he's going to be coming out with. So.
I know. He actually had me cracking up with his walkout over the weekend when he had the whispers. Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, him and DC was loving that. So it was awesome.
He was.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I can top that next time.
Oh my god! And then I just want to touch up. So like, of course, like it's not easy, starting out as, I guess you could say, like a club fighter. I would say, because you also make your money off of the ticket sales too and all. Yeah. So like, how much of a grind is it for like the people that don't know, where like because like some people think that you guys just get a fight check, but like you actually make your money off of like, handing out posters, making fight shirts and stuff. So how much have you like really invested and like the grind and stuff just to build your own brand?
That's a lot like what people really don't get, I guess, but unless people are like in the game or not, like a lot of the fighters, I think I started out with, I was making like 500. So you show up, you step on the scale, you automatically get that 500.
Wow.
But kind of like, you know, hey, like if you win, you get the extra 500, but if not, you could be fighting for 500. But then you got to take into consideration like all the medical work you got to get done. So, and that costs ridiculous amounts of money, especially if you have to get like CT scans and everything like that. Blood work is just usual, a couple $100. It's not something super crazy. So, but then, yeah, like building your brand as far as like, you know, pushing t-shirts, like all that comes out of your pocket. That's what people don't realize. Like all that's coming out of your pocket, and you could be taking a hit just to make, you know, $200 because you can get, say you're going to get a couple hundred t-shirts made, but it's not a guarantee that people are going to be buying your t-shirts. Now you can run a deal where you could be like, all right, yo, listen, you can buy like 2 tickets or 3 tickets. I'll throw in, you know, I'll give you two shirts that are half off, and you can try to make some money that way. But that's what people don't realize. Like that is the hardest part of not being in the big show, is just trying to make your money and building up that brand. And once you kind of build up that brand, you have like a name behind you, you know what people expect, you have a bigger fan base. That's when, you know, the ticket sales tend to come easier. So.
Yeah, I actually really liked your comment after the fight against Rodrigo. How you said like you had like people you haven't talked to in 10 years, and they're like messaging you, sending stuff on Insta stories. Like that was a savage comment. But I mean, like it is true though. It's like, so true.
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh man, like I went to high school with that kid. Yeah, like he sat on my lunch table. Like, dude, fuck you. Sorry to be cursing, but like
no, it's fine.
And like. Where were you at? Like I said, where were you at 2 fights ago when I needed ticket sales? Where were you at 3 fights ago when I could barely make any money? Like everyone just wants to claim you, like that they knew you or whatever. You know, it is what it is. I'm not really concerned about that. Just don't be blowing up my Instagram, my social media. I care.
Yes. Well, me and Nick are real ones. Like we would even probably show love to the guy that just rips cigs outside of Patty Wax and drinks all weekend, and then that decides to do like cage fighting. We'll be like, all right, come on, let's go, because
definitely that dude.
Yeah,
outside of Patty Wax.
Outside of Patty Wax. And then I just wanted to touch up. So it was probably a very exciting, wild night when you got the phone call from your manager / agent, I guess you would call him. So what was that like to get the call to be on UFC 252 when you were already preparing for the CFFC card that was going to be rescheduled twice because they were supposed to fight around the same time as the UFC fight card?
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, like I said, it was, you know, I was on my way home from work, and he usually only calls if it's something good or something bad. And if it's 1:30 in the morning, it's usually something bad. So I was like, what the hell does this dude want? Oh, I picked it up, and he's like, yeah, what are you doing? I was like, I'm driving home. And he goes, all right, how do you want to fight, you know, Parker Porter, UFC 252? And I almost damn near crashed my car on 95 right at the comment. Like, I'm driving, I was like swearing all on FaceTime, and it was absolutely ridiculous. And I was just happy to actually have a fight, because if you ask my partner I was working with, I got the phone call at work that my original fight with Deed was canceled for the title fight because of COVID and everything like that. And I lost it. I absolutely lost it. I was throwing shit in the office. Because it was a week out. Like I was ready to go. Like my mindset, I was switched on. I was ready to go. And just that, and then it was a whole big fiasco. So it really made up for it, as you can tell. So.
Yeah, I was at my fantasy football draft, and we never did it early, but I was like, all right, we need to start wrapping it up because Chris is making the debut, and it was just incredible. We were up in Warrington at our draft, and we were amazed at that incredible knockout, and then also the quick hands. That was unbelievable.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and then I got two more questions for you, and then I'll switch it over to Nick. So your first one, I mean, I know you're very close with your brother. Could you just touch how much he means to you, and also like what it's like to just train with him all the time as well?
Realistically, outside my wife and like my mom and my son, he's the only person that really matters. Like ever since we were kids, like our parents split up when we were younger, and ever since we were kids, I think I was 8. My parents split up when I was 8, and he was like 5 or 6. So it's always been us. Like it's weird, like not the type of relationship that we have, but like we always talk. We're always there. He's my best friend. Like he's my best training partner. He's my number one training partner. Like whenever we're doing drills or whenever we're doing we're getting ready for fights. Like we're besides teaching, like it's always us. Like if wherever you see him at, I'm probably in the other room or somewhere else. So it's really good. And then just having him there, especially us both in the UFC, like what more could you ask for? It's just he's pushing me to be that much better. And then I'm pushing him the same way because we've been doing this for so damn long. It's something that, it's really the only thing that we know. Like it's kind of like cliche to say, and like I guess bad to say, but that it's realistically it's the only thing that we know how to do is to fight, which is weird to say to you guys, but yeah. So
yeah, no, that is awesome to hear because I know like a lot of siblings and like they still do even in their 20s, like they usually have like a love-hate relationship where they like try to kill each other, but you guys have a very great connection, and we always say it. I mean, whether either one of these are in that octagon, the other one's out there in the corner.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then my last question I have for you is a fun one, so hopefully you don't let me down on this question. What is your number one? What is your number one cheesesteak spot in Philly?
Number one cheesesteak spot. All right, so my number one cheesesteak spot for the longest has been Steve's. You get Steve's. Get there, and then I'll get American without, spicy fries with a side of American, and a root beer. Nothing better than that. Nothing better than that.
Yo, spicy fries at Steve's are incredible.
Oh, my God. I know.
Phenomenal. There's nothing better than that. So, that, but then also recently, I've had Cafe Carmela.
Okay.
Cafe Carmela, their cheesesteak, top 3 cheesesteak all time.
Man.
Really?
Top 3 cheesesteak all time. Number 1, Steve's, Cafe Carmela, 2 or 3, depending what else is going on.
Chris, and you want to know what's crazy? I live right down the street from Cafe Carmela, and I have yet to make it over there. Is that insane? I know.
Come on, man. You have to listen. Get the cheesesteak. The white pizza is phenomenal, and their truffle fries. The truffle fries. My wife loves the truffle fries.
The truffle fries. Okay, I'm gonna. All right.
Yo, being a heavyweight has its perks.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it
100%.
does.
100% it does.
Yes, it does.
Love being a heavyweight.
All right, Nick, you could. Yep.
All right. So I kind of just talk about like the current state of like whoever I'm interviewing, like division, basically.
Okay.
So
all right, let's go.
Your goal is probably by 2021 crack the top 15.
Absolutely.
Right. So
absolutely.
I mean, there's so many different rankings out there right now. Right now, I think the most common ground I've seen you in is like 20 range, 25 range.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's very fair, I think, for right now. But like, dude, even I think you made your debut at the perfect time, especially on the perfect card, because obviously the heavyweight championship fight was that fight.
Obviously, yeah.
So I think that was like huge because obviously they watch and you just put on a hell of a show. You know what I mean? Like how long was your how much of a notice did you have?
I think I got it. It was a week before, so it was probably I got called on a Friday or Saturday, so a week, legit like a week, so 6 or 7 days, and I was fine. And then I got the call, and they were like, "All right, you got to do a ton of paperwork." So the next day, I literally spent from 8 in the morning until I had to leave for work at 6 o'clock, filling paperwork out, like medical questions, travel, everything with my passport, like everything. So it was great. And getting back to what you were saying about that was the perfect time. I mean, it was legit the perfect time because I was getting ready for a fight anyway.
Right.
So I legit pushed the fight back 3 days. I was supposed to fight on a Wednesday. I ended up getting a call for 252. I fought on it. So I couldn't have asked for a better time.
That's literally like when they say God works in mysterious ways, man, like that is crazy.
You ain't kidding.
Because like you never know, like God forbid, right? Like say you took that, say if that call didn't happen, then you fight for the belt. God forbid you lose or something. You know what I mean? Like, does this ever happen?
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're on a 2-fight winning streak in UFC, and I think even in maybe like 1 or 2 wins, you're top 15.
Oh, I appreciate that, and I think the same thing. I definitely think that. because realistically, I can compete with anyone in the world, and so can my brother, and we say that all the time. And now we're actually getting to show the world that we can compete with anyone.
Absolutely. And dude, you're like you both have, I don't want to say similar fighting styles, but you guys have similar fighting styles where you're just like your guys' boxing is so on point, man. Like it's crazy. And like you have one of, if not probably like the fastest hands in the heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the top 15 rankings earlier today, and like they have some questionable people up there.
Agreed.
Like Andre Arlovsky's, why is he 15th in the world?
I don't know.
You know? And
I don't make those rankings, man. I just punch people in the face.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and it's you're relatively young for the heavyweight division.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's also huge. I want to do something fun real fast.
Right.
So I'm going to start at the top, right? And then you just say, obviously you're not going to say you're going to lose to anybody, but like, how would you see a fight going with said person?
Okay.
So obviously the champ, Stipe. You know how? Yeah, go ahead, Stipe.
Second round TKO. I beat him.
Francis Ngannou.
I'll give that one a decision because I would wrestle the shit out of that guy. I don't want to get punched in the face by that dude once.
Jairzinho Rosenstrike.
TKO first round.
The Black Beast, Derek Lewis.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll take second round submission. I'll do that.
The Reem, Alistair Overeem.
Oh, first round knockout. First round knockout.
I just did the top 5.
First round knockout.
And I'm actually looking forward to that fight tomorrow night. It's Blade versus Derek Lewis. And I agree with you.
It got
I
canceled.
agree with you. Go ahead.
The fight canceled. Sucks.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, what's his face has COVID. Blades got COVID.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. So that fight got scratched, and then the co-main event, Smith and whoever he's fighting, that got bumped up to the main event. But they're going to reschedule. They were splitting all over online. They're going to redo the Lewis and Blades fight for someday.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But Blades would probably be the only guy I think that would give me trouble would be Blades.
Because
of he's got great cardio, and his wrestling's on point. So that would be the deciding factor. But I think our cardio kind of equals out a little bit here and there. And then the deciding factor would just be the wrestling game. And if you give me a 12-week camp, that dude's not taking me down.
Okay, that's awesome, dude. So I don't know if you can like break a little bit of news here, but I saw you posted on that you signed a contract.
Yeah, I did. I can tell you that I did sign a contract. I'm not fighting this year. I'm fighting next year. I can't tell you who it is. I can't tell you when it is either. But it's what? Yeah, all right. I'll say it's at the beginning of the year. It's not beginning of the year, and it's definitely for anyone who's been watching MMA or just UFC for the past couple years, you'll definitely recognize the name. So
I have like so many options in my head right now, but
I can't say anything because
I know.
I know. It's kind of hard.
Chris, right? I'm actually really hoping for you to get in there, like eventually with Greg Hardy. I think that would be a great fight. Also, for him being a former Cowboy.
That dude sucks.
It won't be a great fight.
I would beat the shit out of that dude. I'd beat the shit out of that dude. The only reason, here's a little thing. I was going to fight that dude. The only reason I didn't fight that dude was because of all the protests and everything downtown. They wanted me to do a quick turnaround. I said I couldn't do it because I haven't been in the gym in 2.5 weeks because I was legit working 12-hour shifts, 12 to 16-hour shifts. So I had to turn that fight down. And if he says anything different, I'll punch him in his fucking mouth. But I want that fight. I'll take that fight. Maybe after the next fight, we'll see how the division works out. But, yeah, from here on out, I'm just trying to get bigger names, obviously ranked opponents, and just trying to work my way up that rankings. So
absolutely. Yeah, were you shocked when you got – well, actually, I shouldn't say were you shocked, but in your post-fight interview, I think Buckley fought right after you, or if not, like 2 fights after you, and you were like, dude, no way I'm getting the 50 Gs now.
Yeah, his fight was the fight right before mine. So I'm
Before
standing
you.
Yeah, I was standing in the back. I'm like all taped up. I'm ready to go. Him, pads. The UFC guy comes in. He's like, yo, listen, you're walking in 5-10 minutes. I'm like, all right, no problem. And then all of a sudden, everyone like erupts like crazy. I'm like, what the hell happened? And I look at the replay screen going back, and I'm like, all right, well, that was an awesome move, but I have to focus on my fight. And then I get a post-fight interview, and I think John Morgan's like, yeah, do you think you're still in the running for 50 Gs? I say, absolutely not. Did you see that? Did you see that? No. But apparently I was, which is awesome. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I look at a lot of the odds and stuff like that. So if I could throw like a 3-fight parlay in there,
yeah,
and you were like a severe underdog going into that fight against Rodrigo.
Underdogs apparently in the UFC. So if I'm fighting, bet on me and hit my Venmo up too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. When I saw that, like 45 seconds, I mean, you're like the most calm dude ever in the. I don't know if it's like I don't know who's more calm, you or your brother.
Kyle.
Kyle is for sure.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Well, did you hear his one interview?
No, which one?
You guys, they asked you guys probably get this question all the time. Would you love to fight on the same car as each other?
Yeah.
Right, you would love it, right?
We fought. I think it was a couple of years ago. We fought on the same, I think, CFFC card, which was great. And yeah, like we couldn't be in each other's corner, which sucked. But he could still be in the back, or vice versa. I forget how it went, but it was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. So eventually, I think they'll do it because everyone in the media keeps on talking about it. So that would be huge to do it.
Yeah.
But he said he can't fight after you.
I don't know. That's just his mindset, I guess. So I guess he gets all emotional and all that. So yeah, I mean, I have fought after him, so obviously I can say that I can fight after him. So it's not really like a thing. So yeah, I mean, if the UFC wants to do it, that's fine. So just book my brother earlier in the fight card and me and later in the fight card.
Maybe like late next year, main event or something like that.
I'm down. Sign me up.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be incredible, dude?
Yeah. Like them and also Sean Brady, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Philadelphia opens back up. I'll be the main event. My brother will be the co-main event. Brady will be the co-main event. Sellout. City of Philadelphia. Come to, whatever. The whole place will be all us. It'll be great. It'll be like
that would be unbelievable. I know you're not much of like a call out guy, but can we after your win in early next year, you gonna be calling any names or
top 10?
Top 10 guy?
One in the top 10. Yeah, top 10. I don't care who it is. I'll do anyone in the top 10. I mean, because like it's with the UFC and like the rankings and everything like that, you have one good win. Like if you're like me, like if I have one good win, I get skyrocketed. So I'll take anyone who's ranked realistically, just to build my stock up.
Yeah.
And, just to get closer to that ultimate goal, which is fighting Stipe. And the UFC could sell that to be a firefighter versus a cop fight, so that'd be great.
That would be incredible, dude. That's what I was literally just getting ready to say.
Yeah.
What do you think of how he like that's obviously the main goal, to get to the champion, right? To get to the champion. You're not overlooking anyone, but like that's your goal. I want to fight that guy. What do you think of his style?
It's a good style. Obviously, he knows how to change it up. He knows how to make a game plan to fight whoever he's fighting. Just look at him and Ngannou. He's not sitting there standing and trading, shots with Ngannou. I mean, he did take, 1 or 2 punches, and he landed a couple punches with Ngannou, but he did what he had to do to win that fight. People could have been upset with him that it went 25 minutes. I would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one with that dude. That dude's cardio is a real suspect. But yeah, I mean, even DC, like he worked on his wrestling. I think he might have taken DC down.
Right.
Just that he was ripping the box shots. Like he knows how to win. So
yeah, were you like DC's known for wrestling people and just mauling them, right? Like ground and pound. So, but his only 3 losses, he refuses to try to wrestle, right? Like he fought John Jones twice.
Yeah.
barely tried wrestling, and then Stipe 3 times barely tried wrestling. Why is it when he gets these like crazy high level guys that can obviously stand and bang with you, he chooses not to wrestle?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like an ego thing. Like I can, I'm better. I mean, every fighter has an ego. I mean, everyone has an ego. Like you question whether I can knock you out or not. I'm knocking you out. Like,
right.
And I don't think anyone really questioned whether or not DC could take him down and ground and pound. And the only time I think Jones did call him out and say, I'll wrestle you, like I'll out wrestle you, and he did. He ended up taking him down and all that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's like a mental thing with DC. Maybe it's like his own personal thing that he has to, do. Maybe he just doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Maybe he wants to, get 50 Ks, 50 Gs, knocking people out, the ultimate highlight. So, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. That's very addicting. Like knocking someone out and, seeing the highlight and everyone blowing up and you get 50 Gs in your pocket. That's real addicting. Real addicting.
That's like the goal of every fight now, dude. Since you got the bonus, you're like, I need this shit again.
Why do people tune into heavyweights? They want to see knockouts. So I will happily oblige and start knocking people knocking more people out. So.
Right. So all right. So your record's 10-3, and if I'm not mistaken, they're all knockouts, right?
One. I have one decision win.
One decision win. So I mean, listen, a 90% finish rate.
Yep.
That's literally like that's a dream. Like, get a guy who can bang, get a guy who can stand and bang in here with like quick hands like you, dude. I mean, a lot of these heavyweights aren't going to be able to stand with you.
No, and that's what I plan on showing in my next couple of fights. Just get my way to that belt. Is that a lot of these people, they hit hard, but we're heavyweights. Everyone hits hard at a heavyweight. So it's about that skill set, and you have to have that certain skill set. And I think I possess that skill set to go through the top 15, top 10, top 5, and get my way to the belt and be able to beat Stipe if he's still the champ by the time I get to that belt.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think he's on his way? I don't want to say out, but do you think? What do you think they make? Do you think they make the Jones fight or the Ngannou fight?
Ngannou has a very good argument. Jones, I don't know who they're going to put Jones with.
Right.
Because that's kind of like it's weird. Like I don't see a lot of people taking that fight, to be honest with you, unless they're getting paid. I mean, I think Curtis Blade just put an interview out. He goes, "I would not fight John Jones for $200,000." He said he's going to have to start making a lot more money, $200,000 to fight John Jones. Now, I get it. It's John Jones. It's more than likely that would be a headliner, pay-per-view, the whole shebang, his, coming up to heavyweight. I get that. But like at some point you have this fight game for a lot of people, myself included, my brother, this is more about money. This isn't about money. This is proven that we're the best in the world, that, there's really like no GOAT status, like in our heads. It's just whoever's the best. Like you were the best at this point at this time against these guys. Like that's the ultimate goal, is to prove to everyone that you were the best. And that's the goal. And if people are concerned about money or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. We just want to fight the best people.
Yeah. All right. So I have two more things. I don't know if you remember this. You don't have to cut weight, right?
No.
Right. You just train and then you just walk up, right?
Yeah. I mean, earlier in my heavyweight career, when I was fat as shit, I cut weight, I think once or twice to make 265. It was horrible. I never want to do it again. So clean up my diet. My strength and conditioning has been on point. And yeah, I mean, I think I woke up this morning at like 240. So
yeah, you're not like gaining 25 pounds overnight.
No,
especially after Thanksgiving, dude.
Yeah.
You're waking up at 240. So I was gonna say, what did you weigh in your first fight to your second fight? Because I remember you were getting interviewed and your wife was ripping on you because
I had abs. So I had abs, and she's giving me shit about my abs. She's like, "What are you doing?" So the first UFC fight I made weight, I was like 241, 242. So what I'm at now. And then the next one I was 227. But
I was gonna say,
yeah, but I contribute that to the flight and the whole time difference. Like I fought in Abu Dhabi, I think it was 4 a.m. So the whole week leading up to that, I was staying up in the middle of the night. I would I'd go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, sleep all day, be up at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and just be up like training with my coaches and all that. But the only thing that was messing me up was I had like media obligations and other thing like COVID tests. I had to get up in the middle of the day. So it'd be like me getting up in the middle of the night. So the training, the not sleeping, and then when I was eating, I told my wife and everything like that. Like the UFC works with Trifecta, which is like their like dietitian plan, like their like meal plan. And they were giving me like Qdoba bowls of like just food. It was like 4 or 5 of them because I'm a heavyweight, so I didn't have to cut weight. So I was like, just give me everything I could take because I was burning so many calories and everything like that. I'm literally sitting there with like a 5-pound bowl and I'm eating and eating. I'm getting it. I'm like halfway through the bowl and I'm like gagging. Like I was just full. Like my body was just like shutting down. I don't know if my body was shutting down or if my body was just like, yo, we can't be doing this any longer. So I guess I ended up dropping however much, an extra 15 pounds or whatever it was, especially with the heat. Like we had the doors open, we were training. It was ridiculously hot there. I never went go back, but I'll go back. I'll go back. I'm kidding.
So that's what my next question was. What did you feel more comfortable at 227, or like ideally you would just want to be like 240, fight around there, or train in there, and train at 240 and fight at 240?
No, I'm gonna stay. Like this will be like my walking around weight. Just my plan is just to like walk around at like 240. Maybe drop 10 pounds, if that. Okay. Like 7. Try and go in there like 233, 235, maybe. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more speed, a little bit more agility. Other than that, I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at. And then it also dictates realistically like who I'm fighting and where I'm fighting. Like if I'm fighting in Abu Dhabi and I'm fighting a guy who I know is going to be cutting weight to make 265, do I cut a little bit? Do I like rein my diet in a little bit just to be a little bit quicker, or do I have to match his size and strength with strength? So that's the whole thing with going into game planning for fights. So it usually dictates the opponent usually dictates that, but where I'm going to be comfortable at. But as of right now, that's where I want to be, between like 233 and 235.
Nice. I think that's like perfect for you, dude, because like how fit you are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're a BJJ black belt.
Yes, just recently got my BJJ black belt. So
nice, congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I never want to see you using that bullshit though.
Yeah, I know. No one does. No one does. That's
I say you use jiu-jitsu at being a police officer, and then you use your hands in the UFC.
Exactly. Can't hurt fun makers, you know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
Only when I'm getting really paid.
All right, last thing. I know you can't say it, his name or the day. How's it go for you that night?
I can say for certain it's definitely going to be first round TKO, if not early second round knockout. 100%.
Beautiful. How's the fight with John Jones go?
Oh, you see, I fought people with his length, so it's not going to be thing. It's just the way that he disguises certain things, and his stance, which is what would be the biggest thing. Like especially with the head kick that he rocked DC with. Yeah. He was going to the body a lot, and then came up top with southpaw. So, I mean, my brother's southpaw, I would just have to game plan on that. But he has an 82-inch reach, 81-inch reach, and the guy I just fought had an 80-inch reach. And then when your arms and everything are that long, that inch really doesn't play a factor into it as long as you know how to fight. But when it gets into a factor, it's just me coming in. Like that would be like my game plan on how to get in. And then once I got in, I would have to figure out how long to stay there, exactly what kind of damage I'm going to be doing.
Right.
But John Jones, you take that lure, you take that error, like, that aura of invincibility off of them. You take that and then just anybody else. So John's been hurt. He's been hurt when he's been hit, especially, at 205. TKO, second round. Finish that thing. TKO.
Well, remember, Chris, you come out southpaw, I'm going to beat you the fuck up.
That's
the
right.
Greatest quote of all time, dude. The greatest quote of all time.
And
that was savage.
5 minutes before that, they're like, yo, don't fucking curse. This is like Disney show. This is like ESPN. Don't fucking curse. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm really cool. I got it. And I come out and I hit him with that. Fuck
you went like this. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, dude, yeah, we can't wait to see you back in there, man. Hopefully this all starts opening up so fans can start coming to fights so you can get the full
definitely.
UFC experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, dude, the arena would have erupted if after that knockout.
Absolutely. And
that
that's what
phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I kind of can't wait for. I mean, like I obviously I've fought for the UFC twice. I got the whole UFC experience, but I want that whole, that whole crowd thing. Like I've only been to one UFC event. That was but before I got signed, that was the McGregor Eddie Alvarez up in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay.
And that was phenomenal. That was awesome, and I couldn't imagine fighting in front of those people. Yeah. So I really hope that this ends soon and I make that a dream come true. So.
All right, again, dude, thanks for coming on with us, man. We really appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Again, thank you so much for what you do.
Appreciate you.
And we can't wait to see you back on there, dude.
All right, let's go. Next one.
Message your Venmo, dude. I'll hit you with the parlay into your next fight card.
Right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris. Again, we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
See you, brother.
He's on me after the next win.
Yes.
All right, see you guys.
See you.